Let's get started with the practical to create the WordPress website on the Azure portal. To start with, we have to go into the website portal.azure.com. It will ask you for user ID and password. You can enter your user ID and password, and if not, you can just, if you don't have an account, you can just create the account very quickly. So let's say you are not signed in. You go into portal.azure.com. It will ask for user ID and password. If you don't have, you say use another one and you say that create one. And you just have to give a user ID and create a password, and it's a very quick process. I already have my account, so I will use my account. I will go again to portal.azure.com. This is my email ID. Let's enter the password. It will ask for a two-step verification. Enter the mobile number to get an OTP. Then enter the OTP received, and you have been logged in successfully. So for hosting this, one thing is either you can directly create over here, but that is chargeable. So instead of paying for it, you can take a sandbox, and sandbox is free to use for next 3 or 4 hours. And we'll see how to create a sandbox. To create a sandbox, just go into a Azure Learn and basically just go into Azure Fundamentals. And in Azure Fundamentals, you go into the second one, Core Cloud Services. And in Core Cloud Services, you go into this, the exercise to create a website. Just go into a tour of Azure that we already discussed and create a website. You come over here and you just click on activate the sandbox. So basically, you just need to activate the sandbox. If it was too fast, just pause the video, go back and see it once again, how we navigated to it. So what it is doing is it is creating a sandbox for us for using for next couple of hours for free, and it will be destroyed after that. The steps to do is over here on the left hand side. So it is there for a 4 hours I can use. And how to create the website, all the steps that is present over here is taken from their website only. So you can just refer to their website or you can use to our document, which is I believe more easier to follow. Okay, so we have created a sandbox now. Sandbox is activated. So we have a sandbox now. So the first step was to log in into Azure portal. We have already done. Then go to the left hand navigation panel and click on create a resource. So there is a left hand navigation panel and create a resource. You can also do it from here. So create a resource. So we have created the resource. Then it will take you to the Azure marketplace. This is Azure marketplace. So you have a lot of tools that you can use from. So this is, you have reached to a Azure marketplace. Now what we want to do over here is we want to make a website. So what tool we will be using? We'll be using a WordPress. WordPress is a very common tool for creating the websites. So we have searched for a WordPress, and this comes the WordPress. We click on the create. All the steps are over here. Click on the create. So we have created it. Then you should be presented with the several options for deployment. You have currently signed into Microsoft Learn Sandbox because we are into a sandbox now, which does not have any subscription. You have other directories you can switch to or sign up for new subscription. No, we want to continue with the sandbox only because that's free for practice. Start free. Oh, that's not the, okay. So we clicked on the create. but it's not giving any next option. Let's go back. Let's click on create again, which does not have any subscription. Your other directories you can switch to, or you can sign up for a new subscription. Why it is asking for a subscription? It's a free sandbox. Let's maybe some problem with that. Let's go again. Let's go again from portal.azure.com, because it is not detecting the sandbox properly. So first step was to click over here, create resources, look for WordPress, click on create. Okay, now it come properly. Maybe because we created the sandbox, we logged in first and then created the sandbox, so it was not able to detect the sandbox properly. But now it is detected, so we can go ahead. It asks for Azure name. You just give whatever name you want for your website. So let's say I write my website name to be Harish ABCDEF, or maybe Harish underscore Harish ABC. Is the Harish available? No, Harish is not available. Is Harish A available? No. B available? Okay. Harish AB is available, so we are using Harish AB. We need to remember what website we are creating, right? After that, we want to select the subscription. It's already selected. Then it says that select a resource group. We want to select a use existing resource group because we want to use the sandbox, and we select the sandbox number. This is a sandbox number that we are selecting. So we have to select the sandbox number. After that, the database we will be using is MySQL in app. Then the option to this one, we can keep it blank. Insights also we can keep it blank, and we can click on create. So it says that there are some validation errors, and it is expected. So what we need to do is we need to create a app service plan. So we need to create a app service plan. So just click on this and click on create a service plan, and you need to give some name. You can give basically any name over here as well. Let's keep it the same name, Harish AB. And this is the pricing tier, and this is the location. As we saw, what are locations we can select. Let's keep the location as a default. And for pricing tier, we need to select the development. Click on development and click on F1, the most basic one. By default, it is selected as a production one. So select the development and the most basic one. So it's also given over here for the pricing tier. You have to go and select a development and the most basic one, that is F1, and go to do the OK. So it's done. So this validation error will go. You click, you have to click to create, and this validation error should go away. And you can see that the deployment is in progress. You can just click on this and you can see that your deployment is in progress. It will take some time, and your your website should be running in just few moment of time. You can track the progress over here, what is happening over here. So it says that the deployment is in progress. You can wait till the time it is deployed. Let's wait. It should take a couple of minutes to deploy. Okay, so it's progressing. It's bringing up all the resources that are required in a resource group. So it also gives what is that components. It is insights. So insights is basically gives you the details about what is happening on your website, how much is the traffic, how much data is coming into your website, how much data is going outside. So all these things are coming from Microsoft Insight. So it is basically bringing up all the components one by one. Let's wait for it to be deployed. You can see what is the next step. Your deployment is underway. Let's wait. Okay, site is almost up, so it should be up in less than a minute. Okay, fantastic. It is deployed and it says that deployment is successful. Your deployment is successful. If you click on the overview, it will give you what is the website name that you have created. So deployment details. You have to click on this notification. Click on go to resources. Click on overview. And it basically gives you what is the website that you have created, harishabi.azurewebsites.com. And if you go over here, if you click over here, your website is up, harishabi.azurewebsites.com. .net. Yeah, so it is up, and basically it's a web tool. So it's we haven't deployed it anything, so it just gives the first page, and you need to basically create the website. So this not use this tool to create a website. That is not our agenda. Our agenda was to bring up the website. Using it, our agenda is not how to use the WordPress tool. So the website is up and it is running fine. And you can see over here in the charts as well, some data is coming in, some data is going out just now because we use this website. Okay, so how many requests were received? What was the average response time? So you can see that the response time was 2 seconds. It is very slow because it is only for a training purpose, right? Okay, so this is how the website looks, and this is how we have successfully brought in the website. The next thing we need to do is another exercise is to do some configuration. So if you want to do some configurations, let's see how you will configure it. First, you have to go into the Azure portal. Then on the left hand side navigation menu, you have to select a dashboard. So you are already into Azure portal. Click on a navigation menu and click on the dashboard. So we are on the dashboard. Then whatever we had created, you can see over here. Whatever are our resources that are present in the resource group are over here. So you can see your all the resources over here on the left hand side. Okay. Then you have to go inside the app service, the app service that you created. So this is your app service. So you have to click on the app service. Click on the app service. So basically you have landed over here. This was our app service, right? Click on the overview if it is not directly open. So if you click on the overview, you can see all the graphs that we already saw. So all the graphs that we already saw is present in the overview. Then you can scroll down, you can see into the graph and you can get all the statistics that you require. So this about how to view basically, and we have seen it. Okay. So what we need to do next over here is we need to scale it. Scale it meanings what you can, as I already said, that scaling is nothing but adding network bandwidth, memory, that is RAM, or storage, or the hard disk, or the compute power. Scaling can be of two types. It can be a scaling up or a vertical scaling. That means increasing the RAM, increase the RAM from 2 GB to 4 GB to 8 GB to 16 GB to 100 GB to 200 GB and so on. Or increase the hard disk or increase the computing power. That is called as a scaling up, which is a costly process. Scaling out is basically adding more and more computers in parallel. So adding more and more virtual machines. So two types of scaling you can do: scale up or scale out. When we say cloud is elastic, meaning you can instantly scale up when the traffic is more, or you can also scale down basically. So if you scale down, you end up saving the money. So there are two tools at Azure Advisor and Azure Cost Manager that can just suggest you how to optimize the cloud spending or how you can save on the cloud spending part. Then we are going to change some of the setting in the app server configurations. So for doing that, we need to go into the settings first. So we are going to do some setting changes over here. So the steps are over here. First, we need to go into the settings and we need to go into the scale up. So let's look for the settings. So if I search for the settings, it comes over here. And what we are going to do is we are going to scale up. So you can see over here, scale up. So we are going to basically increase the power of our website, right? So it says that you can go into the scale up, and basically you are having three types of things. One is a development, another is a production, and the third one is a isolated. So dev, as the name suggests, is for development and test purpose. Production is for the high production workloads. So it's written over here, less demanding workloads, high production workloads, and this for the complicated requirement of advanced networking. So this how you can change. Maybe we had what we had selected initially was F1, 1 GB of memory and 60 minutes per day compute. You want more powerful, 1 GB of memory to 40 minutes of compute. This was a free one. This is a 9 USD and so on. I'm not going to change and apply, but basically this is the way how you can do a scale up. So if the question comes how to do a scale up or a simple uh, click through process comes, so you should be able to click over here in the settings and scale up and click over here so that your answer is correctly chosen. So you have a two types of question answer. One is a multiple choice and one is a some you have to do some practical, like it will the page will come something like this and they will say that how you will be doing a scale up. So you just have to click on the scale up and just click over here and apply, so you will get the correct marks. So this about what are the different types and why it is used, and you can basically change the storage, and we are not doing any changes because it is a sandbox. In original we can do. Now let's this is about the portal. The next thing that we want to see is about the cloud shell. So one thing that I want to bring to your notice over here is uh, when you are doing some practice over here, just go into the Azure And whatever you are learning from our tutorial, just go into the Microsoft Learn and go into the Azure fundamentals. Go into what we are studying. We are into the chapter number 2, core cloud services. So go over there, and what we completed already, create website hosted in Azure, right? And you just go over here and go to the bottom of that page, because we have already learned and we brought up our website. No need to look anything. Just click on the check your work. So what you do is you get some number of points. You earn a point on completing the task, right? So make sure that you are doing this, so that you just get a tick mark and you get a completion point. And the next thing that we want to do over here is accessing the app service using the Cloud Shell. So what we were doing till now was we were using it from a portal. So what is the disadvantage of doing a portal is it is very difficult to automate. But using a Cloud Shell or a command line interface, you can easily do some automation. You can write the script and make it run automatically. You want to make it scale up, you want to make it scale down, or whatever you want to do, you can do it on the command line. It's a command line interface also. The advantage of CLI is you can automate the things. You can automate the things. So we are going to see something about command line interface. Either you can copy the commands from here and practice, or I will always suggest that use my notes to copy and use the commands. So let me start my notes on the left hand side. Okay. So the left hand side is the notes, and we are going to look into each of the instruction and what this instruction does accordingly. So account list gives what are the subscriptions that are currently active. So to paste over here, just remember that the key is Control Shift V. So it is giving an error because of some indentation between different formats. So it should be AZ account list. Oh, all the spaces are gone. I'll make sure that it is corrected. AZ account list. What's the issue? Oh, all the spaces are not appearing in that document. Let me work on that because of different Microsoft versions. So let's practice all the instructions for now from here. These instructions are also there in the notes. So AZ account list output table is nothing but it gives what is the account that is going on. So we have enabled the learning account. So this is the subscription ID. To see what are the resource group that is active, this is the command. So I click on copy over there and we paste over here, and it says that a resource group is learn blah 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 whatever. So this is the resource group that is activated in West US. One more thing is, if you don't write this output as table, it gives the output as a JSON message. So it gives as a key value pair. This is a key and value. This is a key and value. Key and value. Key value. So it gives as a key value pair. So make it as a readable. What we do is output as table. So output as table. Let's go to the next command. So if you want to see all the resources that are running in this particular resource group, just copy this command, just paste it, and basically this was the resource group, and we just copy paste this command and click on enter. So it will give us all the things that are running in this particular resource group. And another thing what we can do is always, to make it easy to read, make it as an output table, so it is more easier to read over here. So you can see that what we are doing is we are hosting a website basically. So this is the output of the example. Let's say you want to stop the website for some reason. So this is the command az web app stop. This is the name of the resource group, and app name, if you remember, it was Harish AB that we created, right? Our website was harishab.azurewebsites.net. So we have stopped it, and if you go and basically refresh this page, it should have been stopped. Why it is still running? Okay, it is stopped. It says that HTTP error 503 service is unavailable. Previously it was a cached, so it was not showing properly. So it says that the service is unavailable. So it is saying that service is unavailable, right? And if you want to bring up back, the command is the same. Instead of stop, you just replace it with start. And once you're done with it, and if you go to this website again, and now the website should be up and running. Okay, so the website is again up and running. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is what we wanted to cover. Let's look into some of the knowledge test or questions from this chapter. So the first question is, what is Azure? So we all know that it is a cloud platform. So first off, this answer is not correct. A single data center located in Washington, no. We saw that there were so many locations it is located. It is only used for hosting a virtual machine? No. You can also use it for different surveys, for Redis, for AI, for machine learning, for websites, and so on. So the correct answer is this one. The cloud, it is a cloud platform that provides the computing power, storage, services over the internet as pay as you go model. The second question is, which of the following is an example of a Azure platform? Azure application platform. So it's, you're talking about Azure application platform. We saw that Azure app service. Load balancer is not an application platform. Table is also not a, it's a storage. Cache for Redis is also storage, and load balancer is for managing a load between sending to two different servers, which is having a less load. So these are the wrong answers, and the first one is the correct answer. The next question is, when should you scale out your deployment? So the next question is, when should you scale out your deployment? So when your application requires more powerful CPU, no. If it is a powerful CPU, you will do a scale up. Okay, not scale out. You will do a scale up. So this is a wrong answer. When you need an additional virtual machine, yes, scale out basically creates more computers, more virtual machines. That's the correct answer. And when you are using excess capacity, you don't need. So if you don't need, you are using excess capacity, you will do a scale down. Okay. So you have to basically understand this was a scale up, this was a scale down, and this is the correct answer for the scale out. So just try to understand, keep the concepts clear, and it's very sure that if you are understanding whatever I am speaking, you will definitely clear the exam in the first go. Okay, so that's all I wanted to cover for this this second chapter. We'll see again in the next chapter. Thank you.